Hi friends, Namaste. I am Anantasan. Now we I propose to discuss the chart of a person, a very important person working, who worked in judiciary as a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India. Now, an introduction about judiciary. See, the important signification. One of the important significations of the sixth house is judiciary. And the professions related to judiciary, that is, advocates, judges, for sixth house signifies disputes and crimes. Hence, A6, Lord of A6, and Jnatikaraka, GK, are expected to be connected to Parvodalabha, Rajapada A10, their laws AMK in the D10 chart. Further, we know Jupiter and Ketu signify Karmashastras or Smurtis like Manusmurti, Parashara Smurti, Gautama Smurti, etc., which contain civil law. We know Mars signifies crime and criminal law. The sage Jaimini indicates that Mercury signifies disputes. Hence, Jupiter, Ketu, Mars, and Mercury are the natural significators of luck. Hence, the combination for the native to become a, a judge or an advocate is the Arudalabha, A10, their lords, AMK, then must be connected to A6, Lord of A6, GK, and also to the natural Karakas, Jupiter, Ketu, Mercury, and Mars in the divisional, in the D10 chart, Dashmavamsha chart. We know the Padas and the Karaka planets are exalted, are connected to exalted planets, or if any Pada or Karaka is endowed with Argala, or if there are any Raja Yogas in the chart, the native may become a judge, or otherwise, the native remains only as a practitioner of law in the court. Now, let us see an important example. So, the native of this chart is Ranjan Gogoi, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India. If you draw the D9 and D3 charts displayed on the screen, see Venus is in Tola or Libra. Venus aspects Lagna in Simha from Tola in the D1 chart. Venus aspects the Lagna Kanya from Midhuna in D9 chart. Then Venus aspects Lagna in Dhanus from Midhuna in the D3 chart. So if the same planet aspects all the three Lagnas, is called Yogada. Is a powerful Yogada. If the same planet aspects D1 chart Lagna and D3 chart Lagna only, that is two Lagnas, he is also Yogada. He is a stronger Yogada. Then Venus is the Atmakaraka. So a very important planet. Now we study some Raja Yoga combinations. Vishesha Raja Yoga. If the same planet aspects moon sign in the D1 chart and the Lagnas in D9 and D3 charts, a Vishesha Raja Yoga arises. Here, Venus aspects Moon in Simha in the D1 chart, and also Lagnas in D9 and D3 charts also. So, Vishesha Raja Yoga applies. Venus is the Karaka for Vishesha Raja Yoga. I say Vishesha Raja Yoga. Why? So while enumerating the Raja Yogas, Swaminatha Mishra says these two Raja Yogas are Vishesha Prabhu Yogas. Others are Raja Yoga, simple Raja Yogas. The another Raja Yoga is the same planet aspects D1 chart Lagna and the Aura Lagna and Ghatika Lagna in the D1 chart. That is, in the same D1 chart, Janma Lagna, Aura Lagna, and Ghatika Lagna are aspected by the same planet. It is a Vishesha Raja Yoga. So there are two Vishesha Raja Yogas. Then there are other Raja Yogas also. We will study as and when necessary. So the Vishesha Raja Yoga applies. Venus is the Vishesha Raja Yoga Karaka. Already he is Yogada and he is no Atmakaraka and Vishesha Raja Yoga Karaka. Another Raja Yoga is if the second and fourth houses from Atmakaraka have equal number of planets, I repeat, I have not mentioned this Raja Yoga so far in any chart. If the second and fourth houses from Atmakaraka have equal number of planets, it is a Raja Yoga. This looks very simple, but it is very rare. In addition, if the planet in the fourth house is exalted, the Raja Yoga is doubly strong. Here, the Apakaraka is Venus. Besides, Venus is Yogada and also the Vishesha Raja Yoga Karaka. In addition, Venus combines with an exalted planet Saturn there in Tula, the Lord of Kumbha, which is the Arudha Lagna and also the Putrapada A5. So the second house from Venus. So why we are referring to exalted Saturn and say Mercury? Because if the planet having Argala or is connected to Raja Yoga like this, if that planet is exalted or combines with an exalted planet, or if that planet has Argala, that is a Vishesha Raja Yoga. It's exceedingly strong Raja Yoga. So the second house from Venus is Vrishchika. The fourth house is Makara. So Vrishchika and Makara have equal number of planets, one planet in each house. Further, the planet Mars in the fourth house, Makara, is exalted. So the Raja Yoga applies completely. So see how Venus is getting more and more important. Is Yogada, is also the Vishesha Raja Yoga Karaka. Venus is endowed with another Raja Yoga Karaka explained just now. Another important Raja Yoga with reference to Venus is Argala. See, Argala from Venus. There are two Argalas here, one from Venus and the other with reference to Jupiter. See, the first Argala with Venus. The second house from Venus is Vrishchika, and Vrishchika is occupied by Sun. The 12th house, Kanya, is vacant. The fourth house from Venus is Makara, and it is occupied by exalted Mars. The 10th house from Venus is also occupied by another exalted planet, Jupiter. So, Mars cannot cause any Argala because a planet of equal strength is posited in the 10th house. So, he neutralizes the Argala caused by Mars. So, the 11th house from Venus is Simha, and Simha is occupied by Moon. So, the second house, Dhanush, is not occupied by any planet. No, not second, third house. Third house is occupied by Rahu. But Rahu is a shadow planet and he cannot neutralize the Argala caused by moon. So there are effective Argalas from two houses. That is, there is Argala from two houses. This is a Tripada Argala, that is 75% Argala. It is also important to see the lordships of the Argala Karakas, lordships and Karakas of the planets causing Argala, because the planets causing Argala, the, the planet endowed with Argala imbibes the qualities of those planets causing Argala. So, number one, the sun in the second house. Sun is the indicator of government service first. Then moon. Moon is Jnatikaraka GK and the lord of A6 Karkataka. So, we have just seen the importance of 6,000 Jnatikaraka in this profession in judiciary. Then moon. Moon is Jatikaraka and the lord of A6 Karkataka. You may attribute these significations to Venus. Then there is another Argala from Jupiter. Jupiter is the Putrakaraka PK and also the lord of A10 Meena. Jupiter is in Karkataka A6. A6 is also important. So A6 is occupied by exalted planet. And that Jupiter is aspecting Arudha Lagna and Putrapada A5 in Kumbha. Now we see the Argala from Jupiter. There is a moon posited in the second house, and there are no planets. And there are three planets, Mercury, Saturn, and Venus in the fourth house. Again, this is the 75% Argala caused by total number of four planets. Who are the Argala Karakas again? Mars, the lord of A6, and Moon, the lord of A6 and GK in Karkataka. Then Saturn, exalted PK, Ratrikaraka, lord of A5, and also the lord of Arudha Lagna, Kumbha. Venus is Yogada, Viseshara Yokaraka, and Atmakaraka. See, this way of identifying the Yogada, Raj Yogas in the beginning itself, before starting to analyze the chart, you must see in these Raj Yogas and Yogada in the beginning itself. This helps us to understand that the native is someone of a very high profile. Lord of A6 and GK Moon appears to be very important as he is endowed with, he is involved in the groups of two Argalas, that is both the groups of Argala Karakas. Now, let us see how the D10 chart justifies the nature, the native to pursue legal profession and occupy the highest seat of judiciary of India, that is Supreme Court. Now, see the D10 chart. The Arudha Labha, let us start from Arudha Labha, Lord of Arudha Labha, then A10, Lord of A10, and AMK. These are the five reference points. That is, Arudha Labha and Rajyapada, they are Vrittikaraka Padas. The Lords and AMK Vrittikaraka planets are Vrittikaraka planets. So, the Arudha Labha is Dhanus, which is the same as the 10th from A10 Mena. A10 is Mena. 10th from A10 is Dhanus. And Dhanus is the Arudha Labha. Dhanus is also the 6th from A6, that is Karkataka. 6th from Karkataka. Karkataka is A6. So Dhanus aspects Miduna, which is the fifth to A5. A5 is in Kumbha. Fifth to A5 is Miduna. And so A6, A5, and A10. These are the padas connected mutually. So this has a significance. A6, A10, we know they signify La. Then A5. A5 is become important for the native to occupy a seat of power. This is very important. So Dhanush aspects Midana, which is the fifth to A5. This pattern in the arrangement of padas in any chart also indicates the nature is likely to be to pursue a profession like judge or director of police or an army officer where A6 GK or must be prominent. Then the lot of Arud Labha. So you please remember the connections. Arud Labha is connected to such and such paras. Then let us see Lord of Arud Labha, Jupiter. In the D10 chart, Jupiter is PK, Lord of Arud Labha, Lord of A10. Then he is in Vrushabha. The Lord of Jupiter, also the Lord of A10 Mena, combines with Mars. Jupiter combines with Mars in the, and they are in mutual aspect with Jupiter combines with Mars. Jupiter and Mars are in mutual aspect with number one, Moon in Tola, Ketu also in Tola, then Venus and the Sun. Venus, you know, Rajayoga Karaka. Sun is planet for government service. A6 GK Ketu, the Karaka for civil law. Already explained. Jupiter and the Moon are also in mutual aspect with A6 Kumbha and Mercury in Kumbha. We know Mercury signifies disputes. Now, you see the AMK. AMK and the Karaka for criminal law is Mars. AMK is Mars. He is also the Karaka for criminal law. He combines with Jupiter. Again, he has all the connections with Jupiter and aspects GK Moon, Ketu, Venus, and Sun. The Yogada and Rajayokaraka Venus is in mutual aspect with A5 in Kumbha and Mercury, the Karaka for disputes. So, and also the Lord of Miduna, Mercury is not only Karaka for disputes, is also the Lord of Miduna, which is the fifth from A5 Kumbha. Now you verify the checklist. Arudala Bhaganus, Rajyapada Etan, and they lost Jupiter and the AMK Mars are connected to A6, Lord of A6, GK, Jupiter, Mercury, Ketu, and Mars, as mentioned in the beginning. So you see again the Rajayogas in the D10 chart. Rajayogas in D1 chart are important, but some Rajayogas are more important in D10 chart than in the D1 chart. For example, Atmakaraka, Amachakaraka, AK and AMK, AK and PK. These Rajayogas are more important in D10 chart than in D1 chart. Other even D Argala, D1 chart has Argalas. In D10 chart also, if that Argala is present, it is more effective. First, you see, let us see Argala. The Lord of Arudha Lagna, that is Saturn. Again, he is Lord of A5. Kumbha. He is in Mesha. In D10 chart, Saturn is in Mesha. Aspecting A5 Kumbha, Saturn has two planets, Jupiter and Mars in the second house, that is Vrushabha. Again, between Saturn has two planets, Venus and the Sun in the fourth house, Karkataka. Then again, Saturn has Mercury in the 11th house. There are no planets in the counter Argala planet houses. So this is a perfect Argala having all the three houses of Argala are occupied. There are no counter Argala houses occupied. This is a complete Argala. The Jaimini calls this Nirabhasa Argala. So we see the Argala Karakas again and their Karakatras. Lordships. AK Venus, we know AK Venus, how is important. AMK Mars, PK Jupiter are in mutual aspect. AMK Mars is connected to PK Jupiter, Yogada Venus, Sun, and GK Moon and Ketu. So the nature and natural karakas for law and disputes. Mercury is also connected to the GK Moon and Venus. AK Venus and GK Moon are connected through Parivartana. So there is Parivartana between Moon and Venus. So that means Venus, Moon, Venus, Apakaraka and Yoga Karaka combines with GK Moon. Here I want to add one more sentence. Sri K.N. Rao, the great guru of Jaimini astrology, he mentioned Raja Yogas in his book. I think it is Charadasha. In that book, he mentioned Raja Yogas as AK, AMK, AK, PK. So there are 7 Charakarkas. He set aside the Jnatakaraka, set aside. The remaining 6 Karakas. Choosing 2 Karakas, it comes to 15 combinations are there. He mentioned these 15 Karakas only, combinations only as Raj Yoga combinations. And he is a student, Mark Boni also mentioned in his Jewels of Jaimini Astrology. The same thing, Raj Yogas. But he deleted the GK, but he included Lord of A5. With these 7 planets, you find 7C2, 21 combinations, choosing 2 Charakarkas. But why they exempted the GK, or why they excluded GK, I don't know. But GK also is very important for these professions. You find in the profession of a lawyer or a doctor or an army officer or a policeman, AK, GK is a very important combination to say the native is a successful person in that field. So, further, you can see A5 Kumbha, Lord of A5 Saturn, and PK Jupiter are involved in all these combinations. You know, the 5th house signifies power and the head of any organization. So the native is the head of judiciary of the Supreme of India. On so, dear friends, with this, I conclude the study of profession and